Good afternoon to you, gentlemen of the media, and thank you for honoring our call at such a short notice to share with you the news of the unfortunate and wicked schemes by the Mamprusis in Bawku and Nairi to eskin a rival Mamprusi chief in Kusauk land. Friends of the media, youth of Kusauk, ladies and gentlemen, the Kusauk Youth Movement, KYM, is delighted to address you all gathered here today on a matter that even the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, described as a big national security crisis. This is because some people somewhere seem to have some insatiable pleasure and uncontrolled power in ensuring there is no peace in Bawku. This, we the youth of Kusauk see it as backwardness and irresponsible, which must not be stopped. But the government must show goodwill, faith in protecting the chieftaincy institution to preserve our envious democratic institutions governed by the rule of law and not the reverse. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are all aware, it has been 3 days ago when the chief of the Mamprugu, Bohogu Mahami Abdullahi Sherga II, purportedly enskinned one Alhaji Sedu Abagre, a Mamprusi man, as a rival chief for Bawku in clear violation of the laws of Ghana and calling a bluff of the highest court of the land. The Supreme Court of its 2003 decision, in a reaction to this illegality and action unbefitting of royalty, the government, in a press statement released by the Minister of Information on behalf of the government, stated as follows. The government condemned development in Nalerugu today, February 15, 2023, concerning the purported eskinment of a new Bawku Naba as illegal and a threat to national security. The government further reiterates that Naba Asigiri Abogrago Azoka II is the Bawku Naba duly gazetted. Duly gazetted and a member of the National and Upper East Regional House of Chiefs and National House of Chiefs respectively. The security agencies have therefore been directed to arrest and prosecute any other person who holds himself out as a Bawku Naba. Friends of the media fraternity, isn't 3 days enough for the government to arrest perpetrators of this illegality after issuing and giving directives to the security agencies to the arrest and prosecute any person who holds himself out as a Bawku Naba? Indeed, a government to arrest perpetrators of this illegality after issuing and giving directives to the security agencies to the arrest and prosecute any person who holds himself out as a Bawku Naba? Indeed, press statement issued by the government, what is clear is that the Nairi committed an illegality against the state of Ghana, and on that basis, the Kusasi People Congress, KPC, in its yesterday's statement issued by the President, Professor Azuma, who called for not only the arrest of the imposter chief, but also the arrest and prosecution of the Nairi and his elders for the illegal and criminal acts by which they committed, and for calling the bluff of the President and the laws of Ghana enshrined in the 1992 Constitution. Friends of the press, has any of you heard that someone has been arrested in connection to the illegal actions of the Nairi? No! And his cohorts? No! Is the government telling Ghanaians and the whole world that the state security agencies, police, military, and national security, among others, are incapable of locating the Nairi and his elders and that of the imposter chief? We are really surprised at the lackadaisical attitude of the government and state security agencies towards the enforcement of the laws of Ghana and the apparent show of aggression towards the peace-loving people of Kusasi State by the Nairi. We are not surprised because a Mamprusi man, Alaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is the Vice President of Ghana and the Chairman of the Ghana Police Council. Bawumia's loyalty to the Mamprugu Kingdom seemed to have overtaken his mandate to protect the constitution that made him the Vice President of Ghana. Even though some available intelligence to us indicate that heavy security personnel are being engaged by high powers to escort the same man to Bawku, that the same government purposely issued an arrest warrant. The youth of Kusasi is treating this information with the contempt it deserves because we believe His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will not compromise his firm stand in protecting the sanctity of the Constitution of Ghana, which he swore to do as the President of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, since the security agencies have been unable to locate and arrest the people engaged in criminality and lawlessness act in bringing the name of Bawku to public ridicule, we, the youth of Kusasi, are by this press conference declaring our readiness and willingness to help find and arrest these criminals for prosecution. We shall leave no stone unturned to apprehend these criminals and hand them over to the police for prosecution. We are doing this as law-abiding citizens and in conformity with the 1992 Constitution that imbibes us to fight any attempt that would cause an injury to our Constitution and law of the land. If you see something, say something. Despite the seeming lack of commitment by the government in permanent addressing the criminality in Bawku and all attempts orchestrated by the criminals who continue to cause and exacerbate the insecurity circumstances, we still have the faith in government institutions and all those who matter to make sure these criminals are brought to book to calm the nerves of the youth down. We have cited a write-up full of usual garbage and gross, smelly ignorance by a group of calling itself Mamprusi Youth. In that incoherent document, they sought to vilify politicians as those manipulating the Bawku chieftaincy for Kusasis. We had no such favors before politicians except our belief of state institutions and the court, which reaffirms and reinforced our belief, conviction, and stance for the youth in good conscience. Our situation is not like when you were made pseudo chiefs during 1930s to 1931 by political powers. Friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we want to state that since for whatever reason the security agencies cannot find and arrest those engaged in the criminality, we, the youth of Kusasi, are poised to do so and hand them over to the state by the laws of Ghana to take its course. This we shall do for the protection of the Kusasi state against criminals as stated by the Minister of Defense, who clearly told Parliament of Ghana that the conflict in Bawku is purely